Auntie Lee Douglas from Visual Sense Crafts, and today I want to show you how to make these gorgeous pom-poms. How to make perfect pom-poms every time, and they're so simple to do with these pom-pom makers. And these come in lots of different sizes, and I'm going to show you on this size today, which is this one, that size. And they're so easy to make, and they just make perfect pom-pom every single time. You can make them thicker or thinner, like these. See, that one's not quite as full, but if you cut a bit more off these, that would look a bit denser, like these sort that I've cut. I've trimmed a bit lower, and it makes them quite nice and fluffy, and they're brilliant for making little animals and things like that with. So today I'm going to use this yarn, just a dusky pink, and this is a great way to using up all your scrap yarn. You can make pom-poms for you, obviously for your pom-pom hats, for putting on beanies and things like that, or you can make them you can make little tiny ones to put on earrings or on any sort of decoration that you want, really. So it comes like this, and you just open up. It comes apart first of all, so if yours is apart when you get it, then don't worry, sometimes these are off, but it doesn't matter, it all slots back together really nicely. So pin there, so be careful of the pin. It's not extra sharp, but you know, just be careful. And then you just put the pin in the pin holder and push it together. And then you start off by, you open up the side like that, so both these sides come open, so you've got that sort of contraption. So close one side up, and then make sure it's pushed together, and hold these two so they're level. And then you get your yarn, push it to the top, because this is where you're going to cut your pom-pom. So put your end at the top there, hold it with your thumb, and just start winding. So you wind it over that first part there, so then you can just let go, and then make sure your two ends are together, and just wind and wind and wind. It doesn't matter if you go this way or that way, but once you started winding, you go the same way. So winding, 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 push it right down into that edge. I find, because you can start winding round from there, I just find it easier to wind round this part here and then push it tight down there, because you want this nice and full. The fuller you wind it here, the fuller your pom-pom is going to be at the end. So just keep winding and winding, being careful not to get your yarn over there. You don't want to wind it so you've got that over there, because it'll come loose in the end. So just keep winding, and you can use all sorts of yarn for this, any sort of yarn you want. You can use up different colours to do different pom-pom, like this sort of colour, so you've got a mixture of colours. Do whatever you want, and this is my style of crafting, because I always say there's no rules in crafting. You just do what you want to do, and I've always said it, and I always stand by it. You do what you want to do in your craft. You do your colours, and you do one colour, you can do 100 colours, entirely up to you. So just keep winding it round and round and round, filling up all the spaces, and just try and wind it so it just goes straight round rather than at a big angle like that. You don't want to start winding like that, otherwise you're going to have lots of different size ends. You will have to do some trimming when you take your pom-pom off the pom-pom maker, So when you get to this end, make sure you get it right into the corner, and this is where it's easy to get your yarn over here, so you must try carefully not to get it over there because it just causes problems later. So wind it right as far to the edge as you can and then push it all down. That's the easiest way to do it, and just build it right up. Try and get the edges as thick as the centre, because it's easy to tend to wind it all in the centre part and just have a thin part here. Well, if you do that, you're going to have gaps in your pom-pom. You're going to have it thick in the middle when you cut it all out, and then you're going to have little bits that just aren't as dense as the rest of it. So if you can keep winding it evenly-ish, I mean, it doesn't matter to exact, but you don't want any gaps really when you're finished, if you want a thick pom-pom. I love making pom-poms. It's just so relaxing, and that you can do so many things with pom-poms. I've got my eye on doing one of those bath mats where you make a load of pom-poms and tie them onto one of those plastic type rugs, and I shall be doing one of those before long. And like I say, it's a great way to use up all your scrap yarn. So do it so your centre there is nice and full. I really like to do it so it's, you can stop there, we can carry on doing it a bit longer. Nice and full all the way around. Yep, so that's nice and full there now. So now you can either just cut it off at the top here, or you can take it so it goes through the centre. Well, actually I'll finish it off the other end, so I'll do it that way. So take it back over the centre and then through that little gap there. Now you don't have to worry too much about this, because you don't think, oh no, I can't remember where she says to take it through. I got a bit confused on that bit. It doesn't matter, really doesn't matter. It's just, you just have to get it over to the other side like that, and then you close this side up like that, hold on to it, and then pull this through to that side. So you're going to now do exactly the same on this side. So when you come to cut your pom-pom, you are going to have some, if you do it like this rather than cut it off, you're going to have some long straggly bits. Doesn't matter, you just cut them off. So it's really, really simple to do. So poke that through and then just start winding. Winding again, exactly the same as we did the first half. So I just do this end first. It's just the way I do it. And push it down nice and tight, and then wind some more. Keep pushing it down. This is a great one to get the kids doing. I know I used to make pom-pom hats like a lot of us did when we was kids of a certain age, which I am of a certain age. We used to make them, and a lot of people still do, with some round cuts of cardboard. Just cut a couple of discs out of some cardboard and then wind it around there, two pieces of cardboard together, and that's really easy to do. You can still do it that way, obviously, but this just makes it so you've got this. If you want the same pom-poms over and over again, it's very easy to get the same size with these pom-pom makers, and they don't cost much. They don't cost a lot of money. You can often pick them up in sales as well. I do like a sale. If I can save a few pence, and I can save you a few pence, then I'm happy to do that. I do like to let my watchers know when there's a sale, because I know how difficult it is sometimes to find the money for these crafts that we all like to do. So if we can find a sale, then I'm always happy to let you know about it. So subscribe to my channel if you're like me and like to save a few pence on your craft items. So when I hear of a sale and find some bargains in sales, or just general sales anyway, it doesn't have to be in a sale, just some sale items that are very good prices, I always let you know. So subscribe to my channel and then click the little bell notification so you'll get notified when I bring out new videos, because as soon as you hear about these sales you want to be on them. Oh, speaking of which, I did a hobbycraft video a few days back, and that got some fantastic sale items, some real bargains, some lovely craft storage trolleys, and some other bits and pieces that, oh gosh, just love. And then another one where there was some yarn in the sale. So have a look at my videos to see what's there, because they might still be available. So winding. Remember, careful not to get over these parts. So we're about as full. Oh, I can get a bit more in there, like if I push that right down like that. I do like to pack these really tight because I like my pom-poms to be nice and full. I think that's probably about the same as the other one. So then you close that side up, hold it together, snip that off in the center there. And now this is where you need some really sharp scissors. So get yourself the best scissors that you've got, your sharpest, hold it together, keep hold of it, and this is the fun part. You just put your scissors in here and you'll feel that there's a little groove, so you can follow that little groove and just start snipping, making sure you hold it together so it doesn't go flying open. I don't usually, but you never know. Make sure you get all those stragglers, make sure there's no bits left. Any bits that's in between here, and just keep going all the way around. That's got them all. So then you've got that. And then what you do is you get another piece of yarn, snip it off, and then you put your yarn into the groove right in the center, round to the other side, and then you do a overhand knot. Well, actually what I like to do is I like to wrap it around twice, because it stops it sliding undone when you pull it tight. And you want to pull it really tight, and you'll feel it just tighten, and you'll see it all tighten up. Pull it as tight as you can without it snapping. So do it as far as you think you can do it without it snapping. Then I like to just turn it all over and take it the other side and do the same on the other side, just to make it double secure, and pull it nice and tight. And then I like to do 2 more knots. Nice and tight. And now pull these open, just pull those ends up. Might be a bit stuck, but just give them a little tease out, and that one, and then the same on the other side. Pull those bits up, There, because I've done it nice and full, they tend to get a little bit stuck, but they will go. And then just pull it apart like that, and then just fluff your pom-pom up. There's your pom-pom. Now you just want to, now top tip, get a tray to catch all your bits. It will save you a heap of cleaning up later, because it goes everywhere, this fluff. So as you can see, the bits will be sticking out. It's nice and full. Just fluff it all up, get it all so it's level, and then hold it by the tail end and just trim those bits off to make it as round as you can. Like that. And that looks pretty good. Now what you can also do, if you want it to be a bit denser, something like this, and this one looks like a little chick, you can make a little chick with these, look. Put that on top of there, make a little chick. Simple to do when you, I mean, you're halfway there already, aren't you, really? Super cute. So what you can do is, if you want it denser like that, you just keep trimming it. Now don't overdo it. Try and keep it the same thickness all the way around, because you don't want an oval pom-pom or a square. So just keep trimming little bits at a time. And the more you cut off, the denser it will become. This is where it helps to have really nice sharp scissors. Can you see already? That's the fluffy side. And then this is looking a lot denser where we've cut that off there. So just keep snipping. It's a great way to use up your scrap yarns, this is. Do some nice contrasting colours for your beanie hats that you've made. Actually, another way to make sure you get this part all even all the way around is, if you cut 2 circles of card and then you flatten that and put 1 circle of the card on here and 1 circle of the card underneath, and squish it down, and then at the edge of the card you can just snip it all the way around, and then you turn it around the other way and do exactly the same. The card on the top and the bottom, squish it down and do it the other way as well. I haven't done that today because I don't tend to do that. I usually just eyeball it, so I like to live dangerously. Try and get my pom-pom back into a round, my little pom. When you do loads of these, you'll see what I mean by the mess that makes, because I was doing those other ones earlier and look at all this stuffing. So it was all fluffy, and now I'm going to use it as stuffing. But you really do need a tray or a towel or something to contain all these bits of fluff, because they really do go everywhere, including up your nose. Make me sneeze, they do. So keep going until your pom-pom is as dense as you want it and as round as you think it should be. Making sure not to cut your string off. Unless of course you don't want a string on, then you can just cut it off the same length as the rest of it. But if you're going to tie it in to something else, you're going to tie it to a mat or your earrings or your beanie or whatever you're going to use it for, you might want to leave the tail on. So this way you can get perfect pom-poms every time. And now see how that's looking nice and dense now. Love it. I love making pom-poms. Get the kids and the grandkids involved, and they love making them too. And these pom-pom makers, they just make great presents. I mean, I've given quite a few of these to presents because well, I always get people involved in doing crafts. And I think because I enjoy it so much, and I know it's quite therapeutic doing crafts, so I like to get people involved with crafts if I can. So I like to give presents that are craft related and get them, especially the youngsters, if you can get them when they're young to get crafting, I think it's so good for them. So that's looking rather nice, very pom-pom like. Super, very fluffy. There's fluff flying everywhere like you wouldn't believe. I don't think the camera picks that up, but if you wanted, you could keep going until you quite, the nearer you go, the more dense it's going to look. So it's entirely up to you really how dense you want and thick you want your pom to actually look, but I'm happy with that one. I think it looks rather nice. So that's a quick and easy way to make lovely pom-poms, so you can get perfect pom-poms every single time. And I've got more stuff in. So I hope you enjoyed watching this, and if you did, give it a thumbs up, so I know there is somebody actually watching these videos that I make. And subscribe to my channel and click the little bell notification, and then you'll be notified when I bring out more videos. So hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.